So for about 2 years, I have been translating the licensed video game Hunter x Hunter Sorizuri no Ketsui, or Each One's Determination. It follows the Hunter's Arena arc, where the main four split off and plan to meet again during the annual Your Canoe auction. While this is all well and good, the game also incorporates various non-canon original story aspects between the different routes. Take for example, Gon and Killua's route. After the two boys properly learn an aura-based power called Nen and head to Gon's home in Whale Island, the duo soon start noticing strange happenings throughout their stay. This eventually culminates into the reveal that the islanders have been abducted by man-faced apes and the Mafia. There is one specific scene I would like to focus on though. After Gon and Killua manage to escape into the forest, Killua comes up with a plan to save the villagers whilst also collecting intel. When Gon suggests he come along though, Killua refuses and has him stay in the woods. When I did my initial playthrough, I didn't think too much of the scene. While retranslating it though, I recalled that a very similar scene took place in the Chimera Ant arc. The only problem is, said chapters were published in 2005, 4 years after Each One's Determination. This led me to wonder, did Each One's Determination influence Togashi? While a proper answer will likely never be given by the author nor Bandai Namco, I thought it would be interesting to compare and contrast the two, alongside the 2011 anime briefly. Think of this as an experiment. With that stated, let's first refer back to the scene in Each One's Determination. Firstly, it'd be best to give some context as the game is only in Japanese. Prior to what happens, it is shown that Neon Nostrade from the original series traveled to Whale Island, both at her father's request and as a brief vacation. Unbeknownst to her, she is being followed by members of the game's primary villains, the Gappai Mafia, and 2 members of the 4 Heavenly Kings. They proceed to release various beasts to distract and trap the islanders, to sell off into the black market later, as well as eventually find Neon herself. This results in Gon's own family, Aunt Mito and their grandmother, to also be captured. At the beginning of Chapter 6, Killua claims that he will return to the village to find more intel as a means of saving the villagers. When Gon asks to come, he comments that Gon is too inexperienced to handle them. However, after he apologizes, Killua states that the other boy knows the forest more. Thus, he requests Gon to search for clues there instead. Despite the brief argument, the scene ends fairly positively with both boys set on their specific goals. While not directly stated by Killua though, there is also another implied reason for him not wanting Gon to come: his family. After the reveal of Gon's family being kidnapped, Gon briefly becomes erratic and emotional. This results in him accidentally revealing to Sadaso that his family is among their captives, causing him to threaten to kill them if Gon or Killua interfere. Having Gon tag along could result in this occurring again, or them being detected. One of the optional game overs even involves Gon staying to fight the man-faced apes invading their house. He's not in a position to do any infiltrating or interrogation unlike Killua, thus leading to the scene in the Chimera Ant arc. To briefly summarize the arc setup, an invasive species known as Chimera Ants manage to obtain human characteristics and the ability to use Nen. This results in the species invading the NGL Islands, East Gorto, Meteor City, and various other locations. They proceed to eat the various human residents in an effort to grow more in power. During one of these invasions, Gon's mentor Kite was attacked by one of the colony's royal guards, Neferpito. This would result in Kite's body later being found by the Hunter Association, being manipulated by Nen and used as target practice. From all of these events, Chairman Netero of the Hunter Association enlists Gon and Killua to act as distractions in East Gorto. In Chapter 230 and 231, once the two boys sneak into the nearby forest of an empty village, Killua describes his plan to Gon. He describes that he'll be traveling to the various villages throughout the area and killing the mind-controlled soldiers, thus allowing the residents to escape. This will also allow him to gather intel regarding the Chimera Ants' plans. However, he then states that Gon should remain in the woods in hiding. When the other boy is upset by this, Killua reminds him of his primary goal, getting revenge on Pitol and having Kite be healed. He also comments here on his experience. Killua demands that Gon stay put, even if it means seeing people die in front of him. The two boys then somberly wave to each other and separate for the night. While there are clear differences between the two scenes, such as the specific islands and end result, a part of me wonders if the former may have influenced Togashi, not only because of Killua demanding that Gon stay in the forest, but the forest area, the context of saving villages, and the most important of all to me, the connection of someone close to Gon being heard prior. As a character, Gon is someone who sees the world in black and white. Furthermore, with those closest to him, he will go to great lengths to provide for them, such as him rescuing Killua from his abusive family. Both scenes involve someone important to Gon being abducted prior. While Aunt Mito and their grandmother are later saved successfully, Kite is not so fortunate, with all that remains being his body. The latter has refused to acknowledge him as dead, instead insisting that capturing Bato will allow for Kite to be healed. In regards to Killua in both scenes, I first wondered if his behavior in each one's determination would be considered out of character, but then concluded no, it wouldn't actually. In Killua's perspective here, he had only just escaped from his abusive family who merely saw him as a puppet to use. By helping save Gon's family by himself, it would allow him to return the favor. There are also the specific stakes. In the game, only Whale Island is being attacked. This is a far smaller range compared to multiple countries being invaded. Furthermore, Killua has known Gon for far longer in the Chimera Ant arc, to the point of idolization. His main objective, instead, is having Gon survive long enough to confront Bato, which results in him trying to restrict Gon's movements here. He's aware of his flaws, but becomes overprotective of him. And before someone tries to villainize either him or Gon, keep in mind they're both 12-year-olds in a war zone. Please. Anyway, if Togashi was in fact influenced by each one's determination, I believe reusing this concept was done to show how much Gon and Killua have changed. While the game is clearly not canon, I would like to argue that there is something to be found here in regards to Gon and Killua's route alongside Kurapika's. However, the latter is a different topic for another time. As much as I would like to also praise the other two routes, admittedly both have pacing issues or show clear signs of production problems. Returning to the topic of the Chimera Ant arc, admittedly when I consider the 2011's take on the interaction here, it feels downplayed, to put it bluntly. Even as an anime-only viewer at the time, I felt there was something off. I believe I can say why. Feel free to stop here if uninterested. To go into a tangent, the 2011 adaptation introduces Kite at the beginning of the arc instead. He is stated to be the one who introduced Gon to the concept of hunters and indirectly causes the series events, but in the manga, he is in the very first chapter. From this, the audience knows him for longer. They proceed to build a stronger connection to Kite and feel more despair towards his sudden demise later on. But this is not the only issue here. When I read the manga version, the dialogue suggests that Killua is shouting and demanding for Gon to hide while he's gone. This is further suggested by the colored edition using red in the panel itself, a color associated with anger. The 2011 version, however, while harsh, feels more calm, which makes the silence between them not feel as natural. It doesn't have the more positive conclusion as the scene in each one's determination, yet also lacks the full-on anger the manga version implies. Throughout the arc, both boys are also shown to be at their mentally worst. With the manga version, having Killua snap at Gon acts as a good parallel to what happens later, where Gon yells at Killua for not letting him deal with Bato. It feels like intentional foreshadowing to their waning relationship that, while technically still present, doesn't fully pull through to me. But what do you guys think? Feel free to tell me in the comments, so long as none of you start fighting, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching!